Hello everyone, welcome back to my studio. Today I am working on a sgraffito background 2-page spread in this altered book art journal. So come along and I'll tell you how I'm doing it. So I am starting in this altered book journal. And I just have, I think, 4 pages left in this book, so I was anxious to get going and get some work done in it. So I just started off by adding gesso to both of the pages, and before it could dry, I took the end of my paintbrush and just did some asemic writing all the way across both pages. Next, I grabbed Titan Buff in fluid acrylic and my small brayer, and I'm just going to get some color across the page. I'm concentrating first around the outside edges of the page with the paint, and then bringing a little bit into the center of the page as well, in just kind of a random manner. Now I'm using yellow ochre to bring a little deeper color around the outside edges. I'm just going to pick it up in the brush that had my gesso in it. Next, I grabbed a Neocolor II crayon. It's water soluble in the color Payne's Gray, and I'm just going to scribble some circles across both of these pages. Now I'm going to use some Josania's acrylic gouache in antique green, and I'm going to paint out all the negative space, which is the space in the background behind the circles. And as I go around the edges of the circles, you'll notice that it gets darker because it is activating that water-soluble Neocolor II. Here I'm just grabbing a baby wipe and blotting here and there and twisting it in the background over top of that wet paint, just to allow some of the color underneath to show back through, and then the green paint is settling into the sgraffito marks I made into the gesso. On the opposite side, I decided to just try the opposite of what I had just done, and rather than activate the Neocolor II with the paint as I was painting the background, I decided to activate it first with the baby wipe and then paint the page. So it didn't really make much difference in the end. And I'm also wiping out the paint from inside each of the circles. Now I'm going around each of the circles again with the Neocolor II crayon just to further deepen the outside edges of the circles. So I'm activating the Payne's Gray around the outside edge, and I still have a little of that antique green in my brush, so I'm just dabbing randomly little bits of green inside the circles. Now I'm going to do some finger painting with buttermilk acrylic paint from Americana. Just going to make some marks and dots and then very, very lightly go over different places in the background to highlight the sgraffito that's into the background. Now I'm grabbing golden high flow acrylic in shading gray. It's one of my most versatile paints. I use it for a lot all the time. But in this case, I'm going to make some drips because you know I love my drips. So that's what I'm doing here.